Today we're reviewing a story that's 20 years old now. Almost, and in June 2025, it'll be a 20-year-old hoax. If you're reading the title of the video, you already know who the subject is. Kavala or Sophia Stewart's 50-page work, Third Eye, 1981 or 83, versus the Wachowskis' Matrix, 1999, etc. afterwards, and or James Cameron's Terminator, 1997 or something. A dismissed $2.5 billion lawsuit that she lost because she registered a copyright in the 80s, which is not unusual, not a poor man's copyright, but a real one, for her work. There was two versions of it, several years apart. I would consider them, version 1 and 2. And she had a successful counter to a dismissal motion as of October 4th of 2004, meaning the case could go forward. A simple dismissal wasn't warranted. However, by 2005 June, she failed to show up for her case, had not entered any evidence to bolster its key claims. She had not demonstrated a similarity, striking or otherwise, between her work and the accused director's films, The Terminator and The Matrix. Copyright protection is for actual fixed expressions, not general ideas, situations, or stock characters like the hero's journey, the hero, the damsel in distress, this sort of thing, right? If you come up with a truly original idea, that has merit. And unfortunately for her, the Wachowskis did. She wasn't able to produce any evidence that the Wachowskis read her story or prove that she submitted it to a story competition that they were supposed to have run. There isn't anybody who could provide any corroboration. And does that sort of thing exist when you do movies? She might have been inspired by the fact that James Cameron, when he put out the movie The Terminator, ended up acknowledging at the end of the movie, acknowledgement to the works of Harlan Ellison, because Harlan Ellison did a Outer Limits story that I've actually watched. It's the only reason I've actually revisited it. I saw it when I was younger. It was on old late night rerun TV on cable. So I saw it. And that story consists of, in some era of time, we'll just say, in the future, two people are fighting a war, two groups of people, and one person is fighting the other. And you can hear the statements as commands to them that are extremely simplistic. And somehow or another, an accident happens to both of them, and they both get flung backward in time to peacetime in our normal world. And the part that I found important about it is the alteration of human speech, even if it's the same language, in this case English, forward and backward in time. To where our sounding dumb talking person, the specific actor they picked, might have even relished this part, seemingly sounding dumb, but no, he's speaking in an extremely efficient way that would convey meaning if you knew the context. He wasn't dumb. He was very intelligent, a lot smarter than the people who he was dealing with, which are not people who deal with being in the times of war. That's a general synopsis of it. I'm not going to bring up anything other than both individuals ended up ending each other, and that's how the story ends. Now let's talk about the Terminator. A android, human flesh-covered robot, is sent back in time, and a human is sent back in time by two competing factions. This is the Terminator, the original movie that was supposed to be a single-shot movie. The robots send back a robot representative to try to prevent any form of resistance by humanity. If you're not aware of it, the subtext here is, that's impossible, there's too many of us. And our hero, the guy sent back, supposedly our hero, is sent back, not having to do a hero's journey of any kind, not really, is sent back to stop that Terminator, as the monster is called, and make sure that the resistance happens, and to protect the person who will give birth to the leader of the resistance, who we later find out he fathers. Now, aside from that twist, which actually isn't a major twist, but it's literally the grandfather paradox. It literally is. The grandfather of the revolution at this point. The hero's journey is actually applied to the lady. He's not going through a hero's journey. He's already a hardened military person, and the robot obviously is. She adapts and becomes a warrior. It's not about him. So, that's that story. In the movie The Matrix, I'm just going to cut to the chase. The original treatment for it that was quashed by the money people is really simple. Robots and humans have a war, okay, and we're at the end of it. The war's over. You could say that these are part of the same story. Let's claim that. Right now, let's just put that aside. What is The Matrix about? The robots don't care about living as machines. They care about surviving as entities that can think. So the fusion combination with humans as a power source really is that they're a computer power source, a processing source, and the fusion is combining humans and machines together just enough to where the humans and the AI bots that are the monsters that we're fighting can live in our brains. Those are very different plot lines. Yes, that's the original story. It wasn't that we're a power source, copper top. We're not batteries. We're computing power. If you're not aware of it, the human brain, even in an idle state or even the state I'm in, consumes barely 20 watts to run the brain. And if you're holding still enough, you could expend that amount of energy. It is really a conversion factor to maintaining an almost unlimited amount of processing power by just taking a billion human beings and locking them away. And it would be a form of détente at that point because they're not killing them. Again, in the movie, you grind up the dead to make food for the living. And that's it. The planet has been scorched earth policyed by the humans, basically as a screw you, we're all going to die now thing. And the computers and robots figure out, no, we'll just use you as the power source and just put you in a low power state, probably lower than 20 watts each. The rest of the movie was dumbed down to make us into battery packs. Okay, now, this is the challenge, and I haven't said anything up to this point about it, but any of you who post a comment concerning anyone's skin color is going to get banned. I'm not even going to let you comment. Your comment doesn't exist. You're gone. You're nothing to me. No, I'm not kidding about it. This is not about race. If you immediately make it about race, or make it about how everybody in Egypt had to be black, or any other meme on the internet of people who are steadfastly going to refuse to communicate and actually have a conversation on a subject. If you're pig-headed, I'm not letting you comment. We're not in the post-fact world anymore. Here's your challenge. We're at 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Can you synopsize Third Eye, both versions by Sophia Stewart? But why? What? Because I can show you without looking up the damn story that I watched the movie, and also in the case of The Matrix, I read part of the script enough to know that there was a different version of it. I'm aware of these changes. I'm also aware that James Cameron, to avoid a lawsuit, just put someone in the credits, quote unquote, at the end of the movie acknowledging their work. And that was enough to appease the person. And maybe there was some money transferred. I'm pretty sure there was. But the point is, if Sophia Stewart won, she would just get a writing credit at the end and get paid money to be told, stop bringing this up every 5 years. Don't make this your entire personality. But the next thing about it is, if you're claiming that you know damn good and well Sophia Stewart's Third Eye is what this is based on, you have to have already, before you came to this video, have the synopsis in your head because you read the motherfucking thing. It's 50 or 100 pages or something, right? Well, no, it's about 50 pages. It's 40-something of one and 5 of another. If you're not aware of it in the movie industry, a one-pager is a 1-minute story. It's a synopsis. A 90-minute treatment is 90 pages. It's a page a minute approximately. That's a good rule of thumb. How do we do these things? Let's say I have run out of ideas and I say, hey, I've run out of ideas. I need some ideas for a story. Before you submit the story, you have to sign off your rights to it. If I use it, you sign it off to me, and I give you 1% of the profits that I get. Not the total amount. If it gets $1 billion, but I only get a couple of million, you get 1% of what I get. Because you have contributed 1%. If, however, it's more than that, I acknowledge that I got the idea from you, and it's more than 1%. At that point, Sophia Stewart, who none of you ever heard of unless you've heard of this meme, would get writing credit for The Matrix and The Terminator, which is worth more than the money. Or let's diss her and not give her an... Okay. And go find a movie company or anybody in the area that might take idea pitches. And you say to them, I need to know what percentage you're going to pay me if you base something on this. If they don't say you're signing a contract now and it's a specific negotiation and you can kibosh the idea, don't submit the damn story. That's it. Let's go into it. Copyright of actual fixed expressions, like me making my version of the Matrix in a video game, machinima, that explores the idea that all the human beings are having lucid dreams, and that's what it's based on. That's actually what the original treatment was, because they didn't explore it fully. Or I might bring up the trials and tribulations of integrating humans into machines. In the movie The Animatrix, the series of bits, you see people with eye socket add-ons. That would be a way to force the people to experience something against their will instead of just plugging in and making them go into a dream state or making them hallucinate. Ideas, situations, and stock characters. If you're not aware of it, the idea of putting people into a sleep or stasis position where they're experiencing a dream together to operate their world is actually the plot line for a story from the 1950s and another one from the 40s. Because it was a thought experiment on how human beings could survive being in space by being mostly unconscious and still operate the ship. And that's where you get the 20-watt value for a human brain operating in a jar or whatever. That's actually where it came from. The Wachowskis might have cribbed that. Or Dark City. Please go watch Dark City. Let's all go visit Shell Beach. No, really, it's a cool movie. The idea in the movie The Matrix is you're literally having a shared hallucination, MMO style. You can bend reality or break it, and Neo realizes, no, I'm having a lucid dream. I can just make everything change. As much power as the Oracle. Some of you out there may have had lucid dreams. I used to do them on purpose. I found out how to do it, ironically, by watching an earlier version of the movie Doctor Strange. And another one, The Ball is Back. But let's not talk about that one. He might show up. But the point is, I taught myself, also the movie Dreamscape, to do lucid dreaming because I just wanted to. And it was a hobby. I could do this all the damn time. I have experienced a week, and in one case, a month in one night's sleep. I literally experienced it. And it happened again a couple of months ago by accident. I don't induce it anymore. I forgot how to. But the point is, I know what that's like. And you don't feel like Neo. You're Smith. Now you're a computer program that would normally be on hardware that's stiff, but you're loaded in a human, so suddenly you can do that too. The movie The Matrix isn't about Neo, it's about fucking Smith. Again, I can synopsize and pontificate about this. Again, if you're an advocate for Sophia Stewart being ripped off and immediately bring up skin color or something, can you quote the story properly? It's only 50 fucking pages total. It's under copyright. Go find a copy of it. Can you? If you can't, you don't have the knowledge of this to know whether or not you're quoting it right. Everybody I've ever asked about this refused to quote any about it. It's like a person who keeps quoting the Bible wrong. Do you know Sophia Stewart's story, The Third Eye, properly enough to do a synopsis without looking it up first? If you can't, you have no basis for this argument. The movie The Matrix and Terminator are very, very different from each other. They can't be based on the same story unless one is a prequel to the other. That's fine, but that doesn't fit together. The story was dismissed, the court case was dismissed. She didn't provide any evidence. That's a red flag. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that.